Are you ready to learn Kumihimo? Join me in this 9-part series of Secrets to Kumihimo. I'm Elaine. I'm a jewelry designer here at Fire Mountain Gems and Beads, and I'm going to take you through a journey of starting the basics of a 4-strand braid, and by the end of the series, you'll be able to make this beautiful 8-strand flat wire weave bracelet.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
Here I have a 4-strand simple braid bracelet. I'm going to use 2 different colors of cord, but as you get comfortable, try using different colors or even a multicolored strand to make it your own. Okay, let's get started. So I have 72 inches here of cord. I'm going to be using 2 different colors, so it's easier for you to follow what I'm doing. So I'm going to actually fold the 72 inches in half. And then so now I have the middle right here. Okay. And then I have here, I cut just 4 inches of 4-pound fire line. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to tie these 2 together. So I'm going to put this in here. And we want just to make a really nice secure knot. But I'm going to start off with an overhand knot and then into a surgeon's knot, and then we're going to wrap it. So there's this overhand knot first. And then we're going to do a surgeon's knot. Underneath, pull. And then I'm going to take this, and it'll be easier to do and see this way. And I'm going to take this thread and I'm going to keep wrapping it around. And I'm going to do it about 10 times. But just because I just want this to be nice and secure, because when it goes into the end of our cord end, we don't want it to move. Okay. And then I'm going to take the other end of that fire line and we're going to do another overhand knot. And then another surgeon's knot. And like I said, I don't want this to move, so we're going to really get that in place. And for safe measures, I'm going to just do 1 more overhand knot. Okay. So now you can see that we have a nice secure knot in the center. And then I'm just going to take this. We just want to trim off the excess because we don't want to have it hanging off. So I have my flesh cutters here. I'm just going to cut. Look at all this mess. We have so much cord. And you're probably wondering, how are we going to keep that all together? Well, at Fire Mountain, we have these wonderful huggy spools. And they are just that. They are spools. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you. I'm going to take one of these cords and I'm going to start wrapping it around. And these cords are great because they are going to help keep all your cords from tangling with each other and keep them sturdy and in place, and especially when you're working with long lengths. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap the rest of my cords and I'll be right back, and then we could talk more about the discs. All right, now that we have our cords on our huggy spools, we're going to go ahead and put them on our Kumihimo disc. And here at Fire Mountain, we have a couple of shapes. We have a square and a round. And the square Kumihimo disc I'm going to be using in upcoming videos. So I'm going to put that aside for now and concentrate on the round disc. So we're going to go ahead and grab our cords from where the center is, where I tied the knot. And I'm going to drop that down in the center. So I'm going to hold that just for a second while I put on some Kumihimo weights. So here at Fire Mountain, we have a couple of Kumihimo weights. But I like this one because you could actually customize the weight. So I'm going to drop one more down. And I'm going to go ahead and, if you could just see, I'm just going to try to attach those 2 cords into that little hook right there, as you can see. And then I'm going to hold it between my fingers. That way I can just have a nice grip on it. Okay. All right. So we're going to start just by separating these a little bit just so I can see what I'm doing here. And we're going to put one of the cords up in 32. That's the green one. And we're going to put one of the blacks over here in number 8. And then the other cord of the green in 17. And the other cord over here, black, 25. And that's how we're going to start. And as you can see, our weight's secure right here on our little knot. And we're going to be ready to start our Kumihimo braid. And as you can see, these huggy spools really help keep the cords from getting tangled with each other. All right, so now we're going to start, and I'm going to take the bottom green cord, and I'm going to move it up to the top. So it's bottom to top left, okay? And then top right from 32, we're going to move down back to 16, okay? Now we're going to go right slot number 8 over to 25. And then slot 24 from the left is going to go over to the right. So we're basically going up and down and then left to right, okay? But as you can see, I'm back at 16 and 8, but I'm not at 24 and 32 like we did when we started. So we want to go back to where we started and move that to 32 and move that back to 24. So now we're back at our original starting point. So we're going to do that again. Move bottom to top left, top down to 16, 8 on the right side to 25 left, 24 back over to 8. Again, you can see it's kind of getting wonky. I'm just using my weight and my fingers to make sure it's centered. Center my work back to the original spots to 24 and 32. Okay? You can do that again. And this is just the repeated pattern from bottom to top, top to bottom, right to left, left to right, and then center again. When your disc is really new, it's nice and really tight in the groove. So that's why it kind of, you have to readjust. Okay. Reposition back to 32, back to 24. And that's the same pattern. You're going to keep doing that over and over again. And after a couple times, you're going to see the actual weave starting. Be patient. It takes a while. And we're going to keep doing that till you see a pattern. 25, 24 to 8, back to 32, back to 24. So what I'm teaching you in this video number 1 is repetition, because as you can see, you're doing the same kind of pattern. And the numbers and the letters on the disc are going to help you have that repetition. But we're going to talk about the numbers and letters later on in other braids. But for this 4 simple braid, it's just very easy. We're just getting you used to the wheel itself and used to the repetition of the Kumihimo itself. And actually, as you do it, it's very therapeutic. You could just keep doing this, and once your brain and your hands work together in the repetition, it's something you could do while just sitting, watching TV, or, listening to music, and it won't be a thinking thing anymore, because you're just going to have the pattern that's going to keep going, right? Back to 32, back to 24. And I think if we do a couple more, you'll be able to see the braid on the bottom. And at any time of this video, if you're not catching it, just go back and start at the beginning till you get comfortable. All right, let me see. Yeah. So as you can see, let me see if I can turn. Can you see that little braid happening there? That's what we're doing. And it's all because of the repetition that we're doing. Okay. And actually, what I didn't show you is I stopped. Now, where do I start, right? And you can actually look down at the bottom. Like, okay, the last one I did was black, because you could see that the black's on top, okay? So the next cord I'm going to do is actually the green, but I'm going to show you how to do a reminder. If you have to walk away, cook dinner, or you have to tend to the kids and everything, and you have to walk away from your work, just do the first step and walk away. Because this here, when you come back to your disc, you're going to know, oh, I did this. My next one's this. Always start when you're doing another rotation, in the middle of the rotation. If you finish the rotation, then you have to kind of look, and it's not hard to see it, but if you do it right in the middle of the beginning of the rotation and you have a cord that you have to do next, it's always easier to remember. And I'll show you that too when we start having more cords involved, and it will be easier to understand too. And you're going to keep doing that over and over again. All right. Now you could see I am getting a very long tail, and you can see what a beautiful pattern that is done. And as it got longer, I was able to take my weight off, because now I can hold it and it's just going to have its own weight to keep it down. It's not going to move in place. I'm going to do a couple more passes, and I think we'll be ready to tie off and put the ends on. So let's finish up a couple more rotations here. Okay, remember, and then we're going back to 32 and back to 24. It's just a simple pattern. Again, I think the biggest thing you have to remember is just keep everything centered. And it's just, like I said, it's just a real easy braid. So what I'm looking for is everything looks good. The braid is following its path. It looks the same. I'm ready now to take it off and attach the cord ends to make the bracelet. So now we're going to take this off, and at this point, you can keep them on that until we tie. So I'm going to tie off just like we did in the beginning. Got another 4 inches of fire line here, very thin. I'm going to start. I'm going to do the overhand knot at the top, and I'm going just a little bit down below the braid because I want to make sure it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, which we actually have a video on if you want to check out Fire Mountain website. And then I'm going to go ahead now and just wrap that around about 10 times. Okay. Tie off with another overhand knot, and then surgeon's knot. And then I'm going to just secure it one more with one overhand knot. There we go. All right. And then now we're going to trim the excess. And now that we trim the excess, we could take all this off now. Because now that we have the knot, it's going to be nice and secure. And then you pull it through. Now we have all this extra cord, so we don't need that. So I'm going to take my scissors and just cut. Okay, so now we got our cord ready. I trimmed off the end on this one so it matches this, so it can fit into the cord end. I'm going to take a little bit of my E6000, and here at Fire Mountain we have a couple of E6000, but this is the premium and it dries really quick, so I really like that. So I'm going to put a little bit in the tray here. I'm going to cap it so it doesn't dry, because this one dries really quick. That's the benefit of it. But now I'm going to take a little bit of that, and it's a little goopy, but that's okay. That's what we want. We're going to put it all around the cord. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to take one of the cord ends and just slip it on there. And now we need to take our chain nose pliers, and we're going to slowly just crimp around that. Okay. And usually I like doing one side first and get that down and then crimp the other side down. Okay. And there's one end, and I'm going to do the same to the other end. Now that the glue has dried, I'm just going to finish the bracelet by adding the clasp and charm. And there you have it, a 4-strand Kumihimo braid bracelet. Congratulations, you made it through video 1. Reference back to this video anytime you want to refresh on any of the basic techniques. Join me in video 2, where I introduce you into an 8-strand braid bracelet. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and sign up for our email newsletter.